Seafood boil has been on my radar for a very, very long time, and there's been things that have put me off making it. One of which is the size of the pan. Trying to find a pan big enough to make a seafood boil here in the UK is a mission. I don't know about you, but this is the biggest pan I've got in my arsenal, and it's not really big enough. I even looked at getting a T-urn off Facebook Marketplace, but then you've got that problem of you haven't got the basket to pull the stuff out in one hit. I bought Tony's new barbecue book. Go and check him out. He's on Instagram, he's on TikTok, he's on Facebook, he's on YouTube. You name it, he's out there. But he's got this in here. It's super simple and it doesn't involve having to have the pot. So when I looked at the ingredients, 2 of them are this. You can get this in the UK, but it's hard to come by. So I was thinking, do you know what? I'm going to put a twist on this. Inspired by Tony's way. I'm not going to use these because they're not easy to get in the UK. I'm going to use one of these to put all my seafood in. And I've also found these in the UK. Now, they look amazing. So with the amount of seafood we're going to put in this seafood boil today, I'm going to use both of these in that tin tray. Let's get into prepping. Okay, so now when it comes to prepping your mussels and your clams, there's a couple of things. Because these are fresh and they are live, you need to check a couple of things. 1, they don't smell, because if they do, then that's it. You shouldn't have bought them in the first place. And 2, will they close? So when they're open like that, you need to tap them. And if they don't close, which that one is slowly closing, means it's alive. So first thing you do, just go through, get all the closed ones, put them in your pot. When they're open like that, tap them, give it a minute. See, that one's shut, that one's shut. Nope. So they're still open and it's not shutting, nor is that one. So out of that lot, I've got a handful that are no good. Same goes for the clams. And we just simply pick through the ones that are closed, same as we did the mussels. No, they're definitely gone. They're a no-no in the bin. But the clams tend to be a bit sandy because of where they come from. Basically, what I'm going to do is just rinse those out, put those in the fridge, just keep them cold until you're ready to put them into the dish. Just make sure they got air ventilation. I mean, in the fridge open like this is fine, but if you wrapped them up in a bag, put them in the fridge, they're going to die. Okay, so with your king prawns, tiger prawns, to clean the shoot out, you basically go 1, 2, 3 in the middle of that shell, and you just simply pull the shoot out. Super simple trick, but so easy to do. It allows you to cook them whole and not upset your friends when they bite into them and go, oh, did you take the shoot out? What's the shoot? Oh, it's where all their poo collects. So from the head, 1, 2, 3, find that crease. You've got to go in a little way. So in there, straight through, just pull it up. Put your thumb on, just hold that shoot and you pull it out. Simple as that. All we got is this one lobster tail. I have got more in the freezer, but they're a treat. Just wanted to open that up a little bit so it's easier to get that meat out later. I have got an awesome trick for lobster, grilling it hot and fast, where I fan out, I pull the meat out and fan it over the top, but I'm not for this. I'm just going to leave it whole, split it down the middle. It also helps for cooking as well. I did buy this frozen from Barney's Seafood in Billingsgate. So when it comes to the sausage for this, I've seen online a few videos where people have used Polish sausage, and Induli is the one you use for seafood boil, but I've had this before and fried up, get it a bit crispy. I think it'll be amazing. Really, you probably only need one, but do you know what? I'm super hungry. So we're just going to slice up offset slices, fairly thick, and then we're going to fry them off to get a bit of a crispy texture. I mean, these are already cooked. You can eat these as they are, so it doesn't really matter with this. You know where you're at. Probably gone a bit too thick with that in respect of offset. I'm just going to go circles. I'm trying to make this as easy to replicate in the UK, and this stuff here is really easy to come by, so that was way too long. We're going to set the Weber Summit up for direct grilling. Take the deflector plate out. Just going to move those coals around because they were from my last cook and they're still going to be usable. Just give them a light brushing and that leaves what's still good. Give it a quick... That's just getting rid of the ash from the last cook. We lit a 3/4 full basket. Just going to spread that out a little bit. So we've got the coals on the lower setting down the bottom. Going to shut that off a little bit. So we're just cracked open on the bottom vent. We're going to adjust the temp to about 350, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, between 160 to 110 Celsius. Oh, I can't wait for this. As I say, you could do this in a frying pan, but lucky for me, I've got a Weber slate, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that garlic tubby toms. So this is optional, you don't have to do this, but personally I think it's going to add a little bit more texture and flavour to this boil. When I'm cooking things like this, I find these tongs are amazing. So we're just going to keep flipping them. And also with that flavour aspect as well. I want to make sure it's right. But obviously this is the first time I've ever done this, not going to lie. But I'm going to try and make it the best I can. So that's what you're looking for. A nice little crispy char all over. Okay, so now for the flavour bombs. I'm going to use both of these, as I said earlier. We're going to boil these up on the pan indoors, get that reduced down, and then pour that into the tray with all the seafood, cover it in tin foil, job done. I've doubled up on the trays as well, because if that splits and oozes all the juices out, then that's it, game over. I'm going to put the lobster tail, which I've cut in half, in first, just for 10 minutes, just to make sure that's cooked, because everything else doesn't take long at all. So we're going to pour this in, get it all over that. Oh, mate, this smells ridiculous, to be fair. For full transparency, I added a litre of water. It only states 600 ml. While I was whisking it up, I added another 100 ml. What I'm going to do is cover, leave a small gap there for a little bit to ooze out. Well, we're going to crack on with that for 10 minutes. Then we're going to add the rest in. Okay, so right now we need to get the rest of this on. The lobster's had 10 minutes. We're going to add some lemon, 1 lemon, quarter chopped, and 2 halves of garlic. Prawns. We're going to get the snow crab in there. Try and get it in the liquid. The bulkier stuff needs to go in the liquid, in my opinion, just so it gets a bit of a better cook. Then we're going to need to crank it up slightly, because obviously we've just chucked that in there and that's all cold. Now the temperature of the liquid has just dropped dramatically. I personally think we're going to have to go a good half hour, 40 minutes. And that's the other thing and the other reason for doubling up on these trays, because I'm pushing down. You could quite easily split through, and if all that juices disappears, game over. So we'll just now cover it up. I almost forgot to add the sausage. I just added the rest of the prawns as well. So we want that to spread over evenly. This is like 3 minutes in. Just remember to add that. So now we're looking at a good half hour. But we're just going to roughly chop up some parsley. So I've got 250 grams of unsalted butter. I'm going to chop that in half. So we're going to go with 125 grams of butter. As I say, it's been about half hour. You're going to see a lot more pinkness. That looks done. That's pretty much there. So we're going to add some butter. I'm going to take half this. I'm going to sprinkle it over now. We're not quite there yet, but it's not far away. And it's smelling amazing. So we're going to crank it up another 10 minutes. So actually it's time to give it a bit of a mix up. Being careful not to pierce the bottom. Okay. So we'll give that another 10 minutes, I reckon. Tony's recipe and the way he cooked it was for a smaller bag. We want to be sure we've got this done. So I reckon another 10-20 minutes. So we're a good 40 minutes in now. Let's have a look. We're definitely there now. So we need to get this off and serve it up. That is smelling amazing. The juices. Oh, did we do all right? Let's have a look. That definitely tastes good. I'm not going to lie. Those bombs. Oh yeah. Digging in there. Clams. Get a prawn. Some of that sausage. That juice over. That sausage adds a bit of smokiness to it. Those mussels, really good. Try a clam. Admittedly, The sauce is a little bit more runny now because of the stock, but it doesn't really matter. It's still got all that flavour. Try the lobster tail. Dip it in that sauce. Really good. Try the crab. Flavours are definitely there. They're really good. Really, really good. I gotta say, it definitely works well. Maybe 10-15 minutes less on the cook overall. But generally speaking, it's exceptional. So Tony, doing a boil in tin foil definitely works. Here in the UK, we're going to do it this way. So with all that being said, go cook something exceptional. I'll see you when I see you. Cheers.